What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another installment of Lyles Movie Files. Back as always with little brother Jayce. How are you doing, bro shot?
I'm doing well, but probably not as good as you, and the reason you have that hat on right now.
Absolutely. My San Francisco 49ers vanquished, sent them out of the playoffs, the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if it's possible to be as ecstatic as I was on Saturday when the ref said, the game is over, beat it. I was very happy because they were making me very nervous. And I was like, come on, guys. This game was over 5 minutes ago. What are we doing? What are we even doing? But everything worked out in the end because of a faulty ball placement from the Cowboys. Let's just scoosh it on up 3 more yards. Nobody noticed, but they did.
No,
And
nothing.
no one runs a quarterback draw with 14 seconds and no timeouts. Thank you.
Don't you just run out of downs when you got the first down, or you know how far you can throw and just get there? No.
I mean, they were just like, you know what? Let's get a little bit closer. You know, it's like when you're pumping gas and you're just and it's like, oh, it's too much. That was them. Yeah. And I'm going to say it now. When if Jimmy and the rest of the boys, Debo, Fred, Jimmy Ward, Eric, etc., go up to Lambeau and beat the Packers, they will have avenged every nightmare from the 90s, except for 95 and 98.
I was.
But that would be the ultimate playoff run. And at that point, I'm putting in $30 for the Jimmy G statue outside of Levi's Stadium.
Well, if you get that done and it ends in a successful run, I'm thinking you get to call that one.
The thing is, it's just gonna make me greedier and greedier. So next week I'm gonna be like, you know, what'd be even sweeter? Now that he's beaten the Cowboys, now that he's beaten the Packers, for him to beat Tom Brady.
What about that Tampa Bay Tom?
Yeah. You know, there's just gonna be a whole thing. And then, well, after he beat the Cowboys, after he beat the Packers, after he beat Tampa Tom, I would love to get that payback on Patrick Mahomes. It's like an infinity stone. I have one, and I just want to get them all.
Too many.
Right. Exactly. I want them all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, I tell you, I'm a fan of not having competitive Super Bowls and just getting the title. So good luck on that.
Absolutely. Thank you. So
Thank you. Thanks, Atlanta.
that's the hope. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's get on to actual movie stuff. But first, let's start with comic books. We're gonna go with DC because, you know what? I'm gonna mix it up. We're not gonna go DC first because we're gonna wind that bad boy up here. Let's go with Marvel. During the non-competitive playoff game on Monday night, they dropped the Moon Knight trailer. And besides getting day and night stuck in my head for the rest of the week, this is yet another example of Disney Plus just shaking up things and going, all right, you got used to this? We're going to do something totally different with the next show. This one looks like a psychological deal, and we got Ethan Hawke finally showing up in the MCU way, way, way back. I was pretty sure, I know I wrote about it, but I think Marvel was deciding between Ethan Hawke and Benedict Cumberbatch to be Doctor Strange. And Hawke lost out on that one, but now he's going to get his time in MCU. What did you think about this trailer? Oscar Isaac is just playing it crazy, and he's working all the different voices, got the accents going for all the different personalities of Mark Spector, aka Moon Knight. The costume looks wild. What you think?
Okay, not being super familiar with Moon Knight, it was one of those trailers like, okay, a day and night helped, and then just like kind of like, there's something. What you think this guy? It's not gonna be just this straight by the book comic book origin. It's gonna be something totally different, and we're actually doing it intelligently and putting this in a series format versus trying to get you locked in on a movie where some of these pieces might not work in a big screen format. You can actually, like, it seems like he's got multiple personalities based on the moon. So him being able to kind of like, oh, here's one day, here's what he thinks this day, here's the next day. Then it's like you got Ethan Hawke like, no, listen to that, go with it. It's like, okay, that's cool. Like, so I'm again, Disney has not done me wrong. I mean, Disney Marvel has done a great job. So I was already like, okay, once again, cuts a good trailer, I'm in.
Yeah, it was. I think that Moon Knight's a character they could have done fine with a movie, like a 2:15 movie, but having this avenue of Disney Plus opens up so much more for Marvel because we still get the movies, and then they can spend a little bit more time on characters they're not sure if the general population, the mainstream audiences are going to go for. And then it's like, let's just spend a little bit more time with them. I still contend that if they did Disney Plus version of Eternals, I think people would have cared more about those characters. Now, you recently rewatched it. Did you have an epiphany like, oh, you know what? I was hating on this movie for no reason.
I did not have that epiphany. I'm sorry. I said I was going to watch it with the director's commentary, but I knew I kind of wanted to have something to go to sleep on, and it was excellent for that job. It really is like you're trying to introduce 9 characters, and it's like 9 new characters just aren't going to be serviced well in a movie format. So it was like very much like you drop in everybody in Avengers, like, hey, what happened to Captain Rogers? Oh, he was in ice. All right, you get a flashback of him in ice. Oh, well, what happened to Gilgamesh? I mean, Thor. Oh yeah, he was in Asgard. Now he's here. It's like, I don't have any understanding of these dudes, and then you're killing them off in like 5 seconds.
And Iron Man's a traitor.
Hey, what? What do you mean? Like, his dad was a weapons dealer. Now he's what? I don't get it.
Yeah, it was
so that movie was. If you could have spent, especially because it was like there was characters that had love interest, you could have spent in a 7-episode Marvel series. You could have had the romances, each like the pairings. You could have had an hour on each pairing. Then you could have had 2 or 3 of them, big climax battle against. Still doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but maybe when you get into movie format, you care a little more about it, and then you're like, haha, see, we threw you for a loop. But then I think we probably would have been upset because it's like, wait, it still doesn't make sense why y'all didn't take out Thanos, and why you have emotions at all since you're basically a bunch of robots. Yeah.
Or accents. It's a lot of confusing things about that movie where it's like, why not just make everybody like Icarus?
Why is Sprite a kid? I mean, like, I actually kind of agree with her on that. Like, seriously, what's the point?
Yeah, there is 0 point. And why make somebody older? Why make somebody bigger? Why? All these things. Why? They should be all like 25, 35 in their peak of their lives. I mean, why is Ajax older? What purpose does that serve? She's older and wiser, but why? Because of a program that makes her older and wiser? Anyway, we're going down the rabbit hole of Eternals. And I really talk about it. But yeah, just want to throw it out there. I think it's time that we really get our heads around the fact that this Black Panther sequel is the most, I don't want to say curse, but just the most worst awful luck stricken movie Marvel or any comic book movie's ever done. I mean, they can't ignore the huge looming specter of Chadwick Boseman's death, and that is just hanging over it until we see anything about it to get excited about. It's just like, why are you doing a movie without recasting T'Challa? All right, we're gonna do a Black Panther movie without Black Panther. Why? Okay, I don't know if that's the right idea. All right, whatever. Letitia Wright messes her shoulder up. All right, we got to go on break while she recovers and figures out her vaccination status. Oh man, she's still tripping on this vaccination thing. Okay, well, all right, her shoulder's healed. Great, we can do that now. Oh wait, now Lupita Nyong'o and some other cast members have tested positive for COVID, so we've got to shut the production down once again. Help me with this movie. I mean, I want to see it, but I'm scared now that it's just going to be this movie that I really want to be good, but I'm going to understand if it's not.
You say it's not snake bitten, but it's almost like that movie. You need. I really think they should have like I said, love Chadwick Boseman's portrayal, but you needed to recast. You couldn't by trying to make a movie a Black Panther or World of Wakanda without actual Black Panthers. Just isn't. I think it's a mistake. I mean, I know they'll probably do a good job, but I still, even if it happens, I'm still gonna be like, yeah, you still lost an opportunity to have this guy in there for with the Avengers. You could add him with the Marvel Comics Illuminati. Like, you're missing out on a lot of stuff by not having Black Panther. With this movie, again, it's just like, there seems like it's just like everything that can go wrong on a movie is going wrong, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. It's just, it's almost like the Washington football franchise. It's like, there's no reason. It's like, there's a curse put on
Black Panther World of Wakanda.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the actors and all the stage folk trying to get paid on this one, but it's already been delayed, so it's like, what do we do at this point?
Yeah, it's gosh, and you just know how hype we would have been if Chadwick were still here and we were getting Black Panther 2. No, anything. It was just like, dude, that would immediately jump to my most anticipated movie whenever it came out, and it's just. Yeah. It's this whole feeling of heaviness, and I feel like their decision to not go with another, or just to not recast T'Challa, because I feel like he was so important going forward in the MCU, and to go, all right, well, we're not gonna disrespect Chadwick by recasting him. And I'm like, no, I don't know him from Adam, but I feel he would be like, nah, dude, Black Panther T'Challa has to be beyond me. It can't just be done with me.
Yeah, they gotta pass the torch, and I'm not going too deep, but I'm sure he would have definitely pass the torch. It can't end with me.
It can't end. All right, so I think that actually covers all of the Marvel news for this week, of any real importance. Now, we know we've got a bunch of Disney Plus series coming, but on that front, let's talk about the Star Wars offering, the Book of Boba Fett. Episode 4. And I think with this episode, they have successfully tied the bow. We've wrapped up everything, all we need to for the flashbacks. We've shown how he links up with Fennec, why he decided to help her. But I was very confused why he didn't just go, yeah, I don't care about your handiwork. Stitch her up, dude. Come on. It's crazy.
It looks more intimidating, you got this metal parts, some metal stomach, kind of like, oh gosh, what's going on here? So
yeah, you may not want to take fashion advice from the guy who's got mechanical parts showing. Just my thought.
Hey man, gotta get with the times, bro.
Gotta get with the times. So he and Fennec's like, what's your angle, dude? And he's like, well, I need your help because I need to get my ship back, and I don't care about any iota of PC-ness on this. I'm never, ever, ever gonna call his ship anything other than Slave One. I think the name of it now is Fire Spray. On this show, it's Slave One. So I'll go for it.
Fire Spray seems like it was the type of ship, like being like the Millennium Falcon is a Carillion, some blah blah blah.
It's a great name. It's just not a great name for Boba Fett's ship.
Again, I'm getting it. You can say whatever you want. It's like the folks that know are going to be like, "You mean Slave One, right?" Yeah. Okay. But I appreciated, like I said, probably 2 episodes ago. I appreciated them like wrapping these flashbacks up, and now 4 episodes in, it's like you are ready to go into what Book of Boba Fett is going to mean for this area of Star Wars, like, because just like, all right, flashbacks, cool. I appreciated the action. This one had the most action out of any of the episodes. I also appreciated his payback on the speeder bike.
We're into that because I'm petty. So yeah, so he links up with Fennec, and then she's like, all right, well, I'll help you get your ship back because you saved my life. And then they go slinking through Jabba's palace, and I thought director Bryce Dallas Howard did a great job of showing actually how massive Jabba's palace is. You know, because and basically everything we've seen is just from this vast distance. And we see 3PO and R2D2, and it's like, we're not quite sure. I mean, we see from the gate that, man, it's probably big. But actually seeing where characters are looking up, that was great. Because it was like, oh, man, this thing is huge. And it's so much more than just, I don't know. It's kind of weird because, like, from the older shots, it's like, how the heck is the Rancor even in this place? Is there a massive basement? But this showed exactly how massive this whole deal was.
Yeah, like the 2D model. I mean, the 3D model, like nuts, sprawling. Yeah. This is actually a palace, not a palace.
Yeah. So that was cool. They go in, and after a little bit of fighting, and I still love that Fennec is basically the main one fighting, and this is for everybody who wants to complain that they're not strong female characters. Let's just call them female characters or women who are fighting in these movies. She's great. And I'm all about Fennec taking the lead in these action scenes because they've always done her well. They've done her justice. She's a great character. Also, I think this was the episode where kind of like clicked for me, where Django was like, I need somebody to hang out with and do all this stuff with. Vam. No, why am I saying her name wrong?
Zam.
Zam. I was like, Zam. I was like, wait, that's not right. So Zam, he teamed up with her, and it's kind of interesting because it kind of had the same kind of visual with the mask deal. But I like that, and just that was his first recruit for his army. And Fennec is tremendous in fight scenes, and I just love her attitude, her whole perspective on everything. Great character. And so then it's like, yeah, now I got my ship. I guess you're done. She's like, nah, let's see where else is going. I just love her just like, whatever. I ain't got nowhere to go. He's like, well, I got to get some payback. And this was the most pettiest way of dealing with any person or group that you got a beef with. He could have walked in Clint Eastwood style where he shouldn't have decorated his saloon with my friend. He went like, I'm not even getting out of Slave One. I am gunning these dudes down from the sky. I mean, it was great. It was like yes, dude. They didn't waste the gas getting out and turning Slave One back on and off. Just like, oh, there they go. Now they're no longer here.
I'm riding on these dudes, and it was a. it was actually like perfect because I mean like he was like because if you watched it you can see Slave One just kind of creeping in the background. It's like
yes. The only thing missing here was him blaring Tupac's "When We Ride on the Enemies." When we ride on the enemies.
I think that was it. The director had that. I mean, she had that in her ears when she was filming it. Like,
right.
That was.
That's it. And then Joker was like, "I need to go to the Sarlacc to get my armor." Now this was the one dumb thing, like over the course of the Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. It was like he knew he came out of the pit with the armor.
I don't think he did. I think he was actually like he was struggling and fighting so much he forgot about the Jawas. Because like remember he actually sees the Jawas at one point and gives them a nod, like because he totally forgot about them just straight. I mean, other
Jawas. I can understand him forgetting them. I'm just the fact that he got out of the pit with the armor on.
I mean, his thing is it's a saying. He think it just fell back in there.
Okay, so
I mean, he forgot Jawas don't let that happen.
He forgot he was in Tatooine, where if anything's missing, the first thing you do is look for the massive sandcrawler. Oh, I need to get up on this thing and see if these fools jack my stuff. Because the Jawas are 100% jacking for beats. I don't know where I'm going with all this NWA, but I'm you're all over. I'm West Coast tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have a hat on.
I do. I have to represent it since the Raiders lost. Wah, wah. Sorry, that wasn't even right, but it was. All right, so I love the shot where they're like in Slave One and they're just like hovering over the Sarlacc, and the Joker's like, "Get over here." That was cool. Fun. And then they dropped the landmine or the mine, and that is one of my all-time favorite sound effects in Star Wars. It's like, oh, it's so cool. And the Sarlacc,
dead space where the noises are like, bam.
And then the best joint was in Attack of the Clones, where it's just like everything shattered in its wake. It was great.
But Jeff, everyone hates Attack of Clones.
All right, no, not anymore. They moved on to another Star Wars trilogy to hate, which I will happily put my John Hancock and sign away on. But yeah, so then he's like, let me go into this pit, go through all this boiling acid, and find my armor. This is a bad idea, but it's just bad idea. And then,
hey, Beskar armor is expensive, dude. Trust me.
I heard there's some Imperials selling Beskar armor. You just gotta know where to get it. But see, I wish he had just said that it has sentimental value to me, because him going through all that stuff, because that's his daddy's armor, would have made more sense than I just need to find my armor that I came out of the pit with that I forgot.
I never understood that, because it's like, if that's his dad armor, so why is he painted different?
I mean, he's got to remake it. You know, I'm rocking daddy's outfit, but I got to put my own spin on it.
Okay.
He didn't put any flames or fire on Slave One, but he decided to keep the ride the same, but he had to change his armor up a little bit. He kept the family surname, Fett, rocking it, but I got to be my own man. You understand that? I got to change up my armor. All right, so then we go. That's basically it for the flashbacks. They're like, all right, let's come up and figure out a way to get past these dudes, because we're tired of taking orders from suckers who we're better than, which made sense because he's gone through it a bit. And after his experience with the Tuskens, he's like, well, I need to create my own crew, my own family.
Family.
Yeah. And maybe he can recruit Vin Diesel. No?
He's still working.
Okay, right. All right. So then we go back to the club, the hottest club in the whole joint. They should call it the Flash Dance Club. That would be awesome. Black Chrysanthemum. Yes, that's the way I say. That's the way. Chrysanthemum. That's it. Yes.
That's the way.
Yeah. He's a bad dude. And he's just mad that people are having fun. And he's just like beat him down. And I don't.
That was just. He was just like, I'm on drink number 5. Y'all having way too much fun. Just.
This is the episode of Petty and Boba Fett. It's petty dudes going at it, and we've heard about this, but now we actually got to see a Wookiee dismember somebody that wasn't a robot. It was like, dude, you are just that was uncalled for. You're like, I'm gonna take one arm off because she made some good points.
Yeah, I was like hilarious. It's like, what? You try. It's like, yeah. Let's put on some music.
Yeah, Max.
Whatever.
Let's get this thing rolling here. So yeah, then Boba's like, you know what? I could use a Wookiee with a bad attitude as my bodyguard enforcer, and I think that makes sense.
I mean, you got enough reputation around. You got 3 of the baddest bounty hunters in the galaxy all under one roof. It's like you think you're getting over on Finnick. Nah, Black Chrysanthemum is not having that. You get a little too mouthy. He's brass knuckles, and he's going to. So, yeah,
he's doing it. I'm trying to think of a West Coast super group.
What was that NWA with Dr. Dre and?
No,
it wasn't NWA.
It was Mac 10 and Cube.
Okay, sorry, I'll have to pass.
We'd be clubbing. Those dudes, man. Anyway, West Side. All right. Anyhow,
West Coast Connection.
There you go. Thank you. I knew it was gonna bother you till you remembered it.
Yes, I know. I was trying not to mention it.
And it came back to you. So now he's got his crew, and he calls out the rest of the crime lords to come to the palace for a little dinner. And this was the ultimate. Oh, I've got the big stick here, fellas, because you're eating on top of the Rancor pit. And yeah, I actually have a Rancor underneath here now. You can be joining him for dinner and be his dinner.
You could be dinner.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I was just like, I would not have been bold enough after Rancor, like, kind of, makes everybody recognize there's a Rancor. Right. I'm probably not the dude who's going to sit back at that table. I'm going to take my chair and put it back on the other side. Like, I don't need to be that cool. Like, you got this one, homie. Yeah. We can talk in a more civilized nature, but I'm now Rancor food now.
You know what? I'm good on food now. I'm just going to sit back here and...
I'm gonna have a drink back here. Talk to my boys.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks though.
I'm not shook though, but I'm just talking to them.
I forgot I had my Roscoe on me. So these cats were like, well, we're not really down for your war with the Pike Syndicate, but we'll stay out of it. And I feel like there is zero chance they're going to stay out of it.
I don't know. I mean, I was wondering, like he was going to say, I thought Boba was going to be like, so how many of them you think are already on the Pike's payroll? Just wanted to hear what I have to say.
Right.
So I'm thinking Phoenix already thought that, but, Boba's the rational one. But Phoenix like, I don't trust these fools. Yeah. Like, nah.
Phoenix still in that bounty hunter mindset. And Boba's like, no, I'm peaceful now. I've been, chilling with the shaman, with the Tusken Raiders. I'm good. And Phoenix like, you need to put on some Metallica. Sleep with one eye open. There you go. Mix it up.
You're right.
I'm mixing up my genres. All right.
I was just really are.
Yes. So then Phoenix like, well, how much money you got, player? If we're going to need to get an army together. He's like, I got tons of credits. What are you thinking? And she's like, well, and then we get the do-do-do-do, the Mandalorian theme creeping through. And I feel like it's unavoidable. There's no way they could tease that and not have Mando show up on the Book of Boba Fett helping to fight the Pike Syndicate. What do you think?
I mean, Boba actually helped him out with dealing with that whole mess of getting, onto the ship. So
right.
I'm thinking some payback,
It's time to return the favor.
Yeah. I think we'd all appreciate that.
Now my big question.
For season 3 of Mandalorian.
Speaking of recasting, maybe this is when they introduce the role of Cara Dune will now be played by. Because I'm really upset at the notion we're never going to see Cara Dune again because Gina Carano is Gina Carano. I feel like we're being punished right alongside Gina on this one. Cara Dune was great. She was another awesome Star Wars character because there are really so many. And honestly, with the exception of Rey, they've been really well developed, well fleshed out, and actually vulnerable characters.
I'm hoping is like when they announced she got fired. I was like, and somebody was messing with like some Dreamcast, and they said like Sonya Deville. I'm like, yeah, put her in. Like real, like just like they're just nobody will miss a beat. It's like have her and Sasha Banks, have a little WWE connection.
So I cannot wait to see where they go. I'm wondering if we're going to see any more Mandalorians alongside Mando, Jin.
I said that, but the Mandalorians aren't crime syndicates. They're like trying to get their, Mandalore back, and you're like, you want to run Tatooine, that's cool, but
I've got money.
Money. Hey, wars cost money.
Exactly. All right, but I like the idea of a crossover as we get to the end of Boba Fett, and maybe get some news on Mandalorian season 3. And of course, we got Obi-Wan Kenobi in between it, so can't wait. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. All right, let's move on now. I've delayed it enough. It's time to go to DC. First, let's start with the comic books because this news infuriated me. I was like, why do they keep doing this? So there's a big, press release. The death of the Justice League in Justice League 75. Yes, we're really killing off the Justice League. All but one member, not Batman. Not at all Batman. It cannot be Batman. Honest, because Batman, there's no chance he would survive. And we are perfectly fine.
The one dude who has no superpowers is going to be the one guy who survives, of course.
Dude, Batman is in 97 books of DC. They can't even kill him off for logistical reasons. Like, they can't go, all right, well, Nightwing, you're Batman again. We've already done this. They've already killed off. So, dude, wait.
They killed off all the big three. Remember this. You forgot that. It's like they had Wonder Woman dead. They had Bruce Wayne back in fighting Vandals. Caveman.
He was dead. Superman had killed from Doomsday. Martian Manhunter died in Final Crisis. He got killed in that one. Let's see what else. Aquaman died in War of Atlantis. They killed Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. I feel like they haven't killed Jon Stewart yet, so he's not dead. But it's funny because they look like in some statues and some variant covers, they look like they had Cyborg with them dead. I'm like, dude, he hadn't been part of the Justice League in forever. Now you want to bring him back only for him to get killed? Lame.
Right. We had a movie we need to get rid of him anyway, so we need to shift his profile.
We need to swipe left on Cyborg. Yeah, I'm the only reason I have a modicum of maybe this won't be terrible. Joshua Williamson is writing it. And Joshua Williamson wrote the Great Flash run that was just epic. From the start of Rebirth, it was amazing. Truly a great chapter in the Flash's luxurious history. Really great. And he's done Infinite Frontier. He's been working on books that have still been good. He's writing Robin. He's really, really, really good. It's the only reason I'm not throwing in the towel in this thing. But I don't like the fact that they're like, hey, remember Death of Superman? We're just going to go over the top and kill off the entire Justice League. And it's for real, y'all. We're really taking them out. It won't be the thing where they're back in 3 months.
Nope. Won't be back in 3 months. But a year from now, yeah, they'll be back.
But see, the whole deal is they've already set up their replacements with these 5G characters. They've aged up Jonathan Kent. Boo. They put in next Batman, Yara Flor, who's Wonder Girl. Oh, speaking of Yara Flor, they're canceling her book. Yeah, I know you're shocked and surprised. They're canceling Wonder Girl. And I think one of the main reasons is because they had optioned her for a CW spinoff series or CW show. And CW decided we're good. And now, well, okay, we don't really need to focus on Yara Flor anymore.
Well, we already have one character we haven't developed. We might as well. We don't need to.
Naomi is part of the Justice League, but I don't know if she's going to be part of Joshua Williamson's version of the Justice League.
Well, technically, she's young enough. She should, and they've made a book. They should not kill her based on the fact that she's new and they could do stuff with her and, flesh out her character. I mean, of course, that means you have to get rid of Batman, but maybe somehow Batman's on another mission and sticks around for all the other titles.
Yeah, I have no doubt they can't kill off Batman just because, like I said, they and I'm going to lower down to more of an actual count of Batman books. I think there's 25 books. They come out every month with Batman. Every month with Batman in them. And they just logistically, they can't afford to not have Batman prominently in these titles.
No, I think that's you almost with the comic distributors, they're like, yeah, you're killing off the Justice League. You're not killing off Batman, right? Because if you do, all of your subscriptions are half our subscription numbers just go to the trash. So you're not killing him, right? No. Batman's safe. Just don't tell everybody that Batman's safe. Well, everybody should know Batman's safe.
And the problem was, when they killed off Superman, no one cared about Superman. I mean, there was a dedicated small group of Superman fans. But all the buzz that was back on Superman when John Byrne took over after Crisis, did Man of Steel, and stayed on for a while, that was long gone. People were just kind of yeah, Superman, he's always around. Whatever. No one cared about him. And it wasn't until they killed him that people were like, whoa. And far more important, DC didn't rush it. They weren't like, all right, next month, here he comes. They did a 8-issue storyline, World Without a Superman, to show all the impact from the DC heroes to Martha and Jonathan, Lois, Jimmy, everyone dealing with Superman's death, even Lex Luthor. And in doing that, it made it so much more meaningful than just, hey, we're killing off Superman, we're bringing him back in a few years or a month. And then, instead of all right, here's Superman, they kicked off Reign of Superman. One of the absolute best 3 event arcs DC's ever done, with Death of Superman, World Without a Superman, and Reign of Superman. And it showed you why Kal-El, Clark Kent, was so important to DC, because they showed you these 4 very different takes on Superman, and everyone had their strengths and weaknesses, and just I don't know, I like this guy. And that
Eradicator, Superman saw you got Eradicator, you're like,
Yeah,
whoa,
he was your
that's a
90s
little too,
Superman.
that's a little too. It's
Right.
like, oh, then you got 90s Superman. It's like,
Yeah, and then we have the 90s attitude with Superboy. Don't call me Superboy. Then we have John Henry Irons, aka Steel, who's the Man of Steel, and he is simply, look, I'm just trying to embody what Superman was. And he was such a good character because they weren't trying to make him a Superman stand-in. They were just like, he's all the goodness of Superman. And people loved him, and that's why he's still around. Maybe not as
he's
promising.
the actual ideal of what Superman, what everybody should take away from it. Like, you don't have to be Superman to be like Superman. Like,
yeah.
But, you know.
And then we had Cyborg Superman, who was basically Terminator Superman, literally. And, you know, robots are always a rage. Let's throw Superman with a robot. It was like every bad idea these four Supermen could have been, but they did it so well that it was like, oh, this is great. One of the best things they've done. And I don't think that because I feel like with Death of Superman, it wasn't such a go-to storytelling device of, hey, sales are down. Let's kill out the character. Let's bring him back in a year or two. Hey, look, who's back? Let's make an event mean something. Let's kill off a character.
Since that event, how many characters have been killed? I mean, like,
Checking my notes, it's 140.
I mean, like, because what Blackest Night was literally like, it was supposed to be like, that was the whole point of Blackest Night was there are no more revives. You die, you die. Of course, that has not stood because Aquaman's back and every Martian Manhunter.
No, so in Blackest Night, they killed off a rack of characters, but they did bring some back. I think it was like 8 or 9 characters that they brought back, but they killed a bunch of them.
Yeah.
They didn't bring back until New 52.
But the whole point of it, I mean, I thought that was I cannot remember what Death's name is in that, but it was like the Necromancer. It wasn't Necromancer, but it was like I'm chained. These are the guys I've chained to me. After that, there are no more revives of these guys. There's no more coming back.
Right.
I mean, wish they had stuck with that, but it seems like they even like when I saw the post on LylesMovieFile.com. I read it was like they actually made sure to call out the death of Superman and how big it was. It was like, because it was big and it wasn't, even if it was telegraphed, it was still, you made this important. And then think of all of those Superman you just named. Those are all characters that are still around 30 years later. I don't know if whatever's coming after this is going to be around in 30 years. Because it's, I mean, like, or even 3 years. Because it's like, hey, we're telegraphing. Are we going to come up with good storylines or year-long storylines for these characters to make you invested, or we're going to see how sales are, and then we'll figure out how quick we're going to bring the Justice League back?
I think the real problem is the Justice League is just a floating concept. Like, there was one of my favorite Justice Leagues was like literally C-list heroes who no one cared about. Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, Fire, Ice, Rocket Red, Captain Atom, and Mr. Miracle, who at that point was not of any importance to anybody, and Martian Manhunter and Batman, just to prop these guys up. It wasn't like that group was the best of the best in DC. And they've done that before with Justice League Detroit, where it was Vibe, Vixen, Steel, Elongated Man, Zatanna. Nobody was like, oh man, this is the heavy hitter group of Justice League. It was just like, this is the group.
I think that like not having those heavy hitters actually makes you come up with a storyline. Like, there's not overwhelming power in this team. Even if somebody might be super strong, it's like, you got to come up with a story and like, how do I use these guys that I picked up, like, kind of like a book like The Terrifics. Like, all right, here's these guys. I got a story for them. Not go back to, oh, Superman's boring, Batman's the smartest dude, Wonder Woman's whatever we decide she's gonna be in the middle ground. These guys like, hey, I got a storyline, so I think Mr. Terrific dude, you know, and then he's gonna take these groups on. Like, here's Justice League International. These guys are not the best, but they have so much humor in them that you're seeing, you know, Martian Manhunter eating Oreos all the time. It's a running gag, and you laugh, and it's actually funny. Now I'm the new guy. I'm new around here, where no one buys. It's like I came up with storylines for each one of these characters, and I don't lean on any one of them too much, which is probably the people they're killing off in Justice League. Those are the easy storytelling devices, but it's like, is that Hail Mary you're gonna do? just to get some quick sales, and then all of a sudden, you've already canceled Wonder Woman anyway. So what are you thinking?
They're just gonna replace him with the characters they've been trying so hard to push since Future State, and I have been pushing back against everything on Future State because it wasn't fun, and except for Wonder Girl, that was the only book that I was like, this is really good. I'm enjoying this book. Some of them were okay, but most of them were like, this isn't cool. This is dark, depressing, and all the heroes lose. And I'm like, well, why am I reading this? I don't care. I have been grabbing all these old school trades because it's like, I'm going to old man, get off my yard thing. But the comics were just simpler. And they didn't try to just go with the let's kill off characters for fun. If somebody died, it really meant something. Now it's just a weak storytelling prop and it doesn't mean anything. All right. That's it on that because I could talk for 2 hours on that. And I don't want to. Let's talk Peacemaker.
Okay.
The total opposite of everything dark and bleak and depressing on DC comic front. HBO Max streaming series. This is a continuation of the character from Suicide Squad. John Cena is great. The cast is great. I feel like this is a idea where James Gunn, they were like, yo, we've got a lot of problems with Josh Whedon and we're trying to keep squashing out this Zack Snyder cut. Do whatever the heck you want to do with with Peacemaker. We got other fires to put out. You go nuts. And James Gunn went, oh my gosh, I'm going to go super extreme nuts. Not just nuts. I'm going to go crazy. And no one's going to pay attention. Great. And I feel like he needed all the pullback of like, whoa, big fella, let's tone it down a bit. There's no restraint.
Okay. I will take James Gunn unrestrained versus usual DC meddling in stuff. Like, I watched the episode, like the first episode, and I'm like, yeah, this is hey, I'm glad y'all put it on HBO Max and it was R-rated as y'all want. You can use all the language you want. I saw way too much of John Cena. I'm scarred for life on that.
And John Cena is a wrestler. You would think that we've seen all that we could see, but no, there's still more.
I was like, because you warned me about that whole, you're gonna see way earlier. John Cena's like, okay, I know it, and then it was like after his bar hookup, I'm like, I'm scarred. Thank you, John. I'm really scarred for life.
I really wish I couldn't see you right now.
I was like, if I ever saw you, I don't know if I can shake your hand. The blinders don't work anymore, John.
Although I did think it was funny at the end when we went, freedom! That was, I laughed. I've seen the first 2 episodes, and I laughed at various points in both of them. So I'm not going to be like, it sucked. I just felt like he went so ridiculous with the, I can do whatever the heck I want to do, I'm going to, that it kept taking me out a little bit more than I think what he did with Suicide Squad, which is weird because of all the craziness in Suicide Squad, I felt that was toned down appropriately, yet still wild and crazy. This one I just felt was wild and crazy.
Okay, like, let me say this, like, maybe I just, like, the wild and crazy of Doom Patrol is not my version of wild and crazy. Okay. This is much more like it is ridiculous. There's stuff that's ridiculous in here. The owl is
Eagle. Not owl.
The eagle. Sorry, the eagle is.
His name is Eagly. Like, how would you confuse him for owl?
Yeah, it's like there's comedy in there, intentional. It's like I always go. It's like if I can laugh when you want me to laugh, I will take that versus the I'm laughing not to cry that I'm actually watching this mess. Say, Inhuman, anything of Inhuman show. Like, I was finding this, it goes with Peacemaker from Suicide Squad. He was a loose cannon, and now he's got his own show. It's what I expected.
I think maybe that is some of it, because I'm a Rick Flag guy, so I'm like, this guy's getting off, and justice for Rick Flag. All right, speaking of getting into, it is time to Peacemaker unravel The foolishness of Josh Whedon. Now I know we are at that time, so I'm just gonna cue it up so you can tell me and tell everybody who your nominee for Dummy of the Week is, even though I've spoiled it. But who is your nominee?
Okay, my dummy is Josh Whedon.
Ooh.
And Mr. Whedon decided that now he's been silent long enough that he can finally address those mean rumors of him being a bully and,
Toxic.
threatening people's careers and, calling people fat when they're pregnant. He's going to address those rumors and confirm them all. It's like, it was like I do not know the actress from Buffy, but he's like basically like, oh, I could have been better.
Mark Carpenter.
Yeah, I could have been better. Understand? It's like, why were you just deciding you need to say she looks fat? Like, just how does that come out of your mouth? Like, I need to joke with somebody, oh, fat. Like, you're just an idiot on that. I mean, that's just and didn't seem like that was an isolated incident. It's like you're a moron. But then his Ray Fisher's like, he was just a bad actor in both sense of the word. I'm like, no, we actually saw the Zack Snyder cut. Yeah, dude.
You needed to come out with that a lot sooner because, actually he can act, and he really does need to be pissed off at you. I was pissed off because I was going down way too far on comment boards because I wanted to be like, all right, what y'all got to say? And these jokers are like, Ray Fisher needs to stop complaining about Josh Whedon. He's already said, I'm like, dude, if you had your career role, which would basically define your career, whittled down to trash, you'd be upset too. And he was like, fine, whatever. I'm going to nuke my career because I'm going to make sure everybody knows how trash Josh Whedon is. And he did it and nuked his career. And then everybody's like, oh yeah, that was trash too. He was trash. Now, Jason Momoa was right there with him. Like, yo, I'm with him. He sucks. Yeah. And then Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot came out later and said stuff. And then the Buffy crew. But it was Ray Fisher who was like, all right, I'm going to be the one to take the bullet, lose my career over this joint. He has every right to be mad and pissed off about it.
I mean, like going back to like Josh Whedon's, like he was like, oh, his arc didn't make any sense. It's like, did you watch the damn thing? Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, but it was literally like you to say, oh, unless the filming that Zack Snyder did fleshed out the role, but it was like if the script was there, all you had to do was finish it. Like you can't tell me, oh, well, his father dies, trying to save him. He actually he mends the machine and human side of him, after his incident. We see his mom die, because, but he's actually created by the mother box. It actually makes sense to the whole actual story.
Some of that was shot because we saw him on the football stadium. We saw him going, Dad, no, before the Whedon cut came out. And then it was like, oh, this is where this actually connects to. So he's trash. But the worst part was when he was like, well, Ray Fisher was just being put up by Zack Snyder to say all this stuff. I'm like, dude, really? So you saying the dude couldn't come up with this stuff on his own?
So the black dude can't actually tell the truth.
Right.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, somebody else. He's a mouthpiece for somebody for the white director.
Right.
Like, no, you're trash. And then let's go to his third. In this article where I'm pretty sure his agent's like, can we just drop this dude?
What agent?
Like his third point on this article was, when he supposedly threatened Gal.
I took a screenshot so I could read what he said because it's absurd.
It's so absurd.
He said, I don't threaten people. Who does that? English is not her first language, and I tend to be annoyingly flowery in my speech. Whew. And then I was told that I had said something about her dead body and tying her to the railroad track. Gal Gadot said, I understood perfectly. I will never work with him and would never suggest any of my peers to work with him in the future. Seems pretty clear to me.
It's like if there was a bad version of mansplaining.
I think that's the definition. That mansplaining and gaslighting.
It's like
double feature starring Josh Whedon.
It's like, hey, did you want to hear? Like, oh, you're not smart enough to understand what I said because you're not American.
Right.
Like, seriously, dude, can you be any lamer?
I mean,
Like,
he's like, yo, let me cover my bald spot with a red hat. Not this red hat, the other one, the bad guy. So yeah, he went all over the rails on this one.
I mean, there's got to be. It's like, oh, after years of therapy, I can come up with this. Like, can you please tell me who your therapist is, so I can also make sure that no one uses that person because they're trash. They have a longer time with you, sir.
Yeah, it was a very interesting interview. Like he was like, "Yo, I need to speak my piece." No. He took the backhoe. He rented it out so he could just. I mean, he went nuts. Shoveling would have taken too much work. He was like, "Let me nuke my career now."
God.
And they don't care about Ray Fisher. They do care about Gal Gadot. So that, I mean, man, that was amazing for its ineptness and failure to read any room.
I'm actually glad he actually came out with that because it really once again proved Ray Fisher's like he's like, I mean, him just saying, oh, he was a bad guy and he was a bad actor. It's like, we have your comparison on why you thought you should have him in 2 scenes, and he proved your name.
Yeah. All right. Well, my dummy of the week. I'm not quite sure which way I want to go with this. I mentioned both of them already. Is it DC for trying to act like the death of the Justice League is gonna stick, or is it the Dallas Cowboys for calling a quarterback sneak with 14 seconds left and no timeouts? I'm gonna go with Dallas because anytime I can call the Dallas Cowboys the dummy of the week, I'm going to take it. It's mine. Did you get my Troy reference there? Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's on to Married at First Sight, and I can't wait for the carnage, the mayhem, the ridiculousness. How about you?
Oh man, again, I'm here for Olajuwon. That relationship is that's my jam right now. I mean, I'm just waiting. I mean, she's like, I mean, after the marriage, wedding, she's like, I don't know what I meant for. I'm like, oh, you really don't know what you meant for. It's awesome.
Ask the popcorn, please. Yeah, it's gonna be very entertaining. So let's hope that it'll be a good show tonight. Bro Shot, thank you as always for rolling. Thank you all out there for listening. Hopefully I'll be back with this hat or another one, excited and not with a sad, somber face on next week. And spouting some double discount Captain Immunized verbiage. But we'll be optimistic. Go Niners. Thanks, Bro Shot. This episode of Lyles Movie Files has been filed.